Cody Lundeen and Dave Canterbury will showcase the skills needed to survive this potential death sentence.
I'm from Arizona. I know the terrain. Too much heat, too much cold, poisonous critters, asp-biting, rock terrain. We got it all here. So this is a...
Two separated partners.
I'm not used to this type of shoot pack at all.
I wish it was brighter.
To show what it takes to reunite and make it back to civilization, two survival experts will take on different roles. Using the skills he picked up while on the Army Special Reaction Team, Dave Canterbury will backtrack towards civilization while searching for his partner.
My partner is 8 to 10 miles away right now, so the best thing that I can do is find him as quickly as possible. I am a good tracker, but I don't have that much experience out west.
10 miles from Dave, Cody Lundeen will wait for his partner while preparing for long-term survival on his home turf.
I'm from Arizona. Dave's from Ohio. He's going to have an easier time with me because I know the terrain. That's what I do for a living, is bring people from out of my state into my state, so he needs to find me.
Both Dave and Cody are limited to the equipment an emergency jumper might have.
So I've got mountains of cordage here. I've got a Silnite tarp basically in this parachute.
The red is what I'll use. It's good visibility for if we have any fixed-wing aircraft looking for us.
There's definitely some resources here that I can utilize. I've got an altimeter here.
Let's see this. It's like a 55-gallon drumliner plastic bag.
This could be used for a hood in an emergency. It's like this.
I don't parachute. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Makes an impromptu tribal loincloth if I need to.
The heaviest part of this whole situation is this stinking harness right here. And if I can get rid of a lot of this metal off of it along the way, I'm going to do that.
To find Cody, Dave will have to cross 10 miles, descending over 2,000 feet in elevation. The terrain will change drastically, from dense pine forest to barren desert scrub.
Trying to find someone in this terrain is maddening. You know, we have some vantage points, but then there's places you can't see. So in this sort of situation, the first thing I would want to do is leave something visible for my partner to find. If Dave comes from pretty much any direction, this is some pretty prime visibility. This meadow's nice. Just wrap it around and tie it. Make sure that sucker stays on here. So here with pretty minimal resources, I have a signal for Dave that has both contrast with the color and movement.
Okay, got everything packed up that I need to go. Now I've got to figure out what direction to head off in.
When backtracking, choosing an accurate direction and sticking to it could mean the difference between finding your partner and wandering for days.
The bearing on the plane was dead north. I need to figure out a reverse direction south to find Cody.
The best way to stay on course is with a compass. But in an emergency, a watch with an hour hand can be used to find direction.
My watch is digital. It doesn't have hour hands on it. Because this altimeter is laid out almost exactly like a watch as far as the hours go, I can use this to find the direction that Cody's in.
To use a watch as a compass, the hour hand must be pointed towards the sun. Due south will be halfway between the hour hand and 12.
My watch says it's 11 o'clock. So if we take our mock hour hand and we put it on the 11, that's the same thing as a set of hour hands on my watch pointing at the 11 o'clock. Point that 11 directly at the sun. Halfway between the 11 o'clock mark and the 12 o'clock mark is going to be due south, straight in front of me. My immediate concern right now is that I get to lower elevation as fast as possible. Temperatures fluctuate this time of year greatly, especially in these higher elevation areas. Temperature could swing 40 degrees between what it is right now and what it is at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning.
In the Ponderosa pine forest, The biggest threat to survival is the cold. But in the high desert, Cody has a different priority.
I'm always concerned about fighting water in the high or low desert. It's a wild card, there's never a guarantee.
Cody is a specialist in desert survival, able to read the barren landscape for the most subtle signs.
See the big light trees? Those are deciduous trees. That's probably a cottonwood or a sycamore right there. Those are water indicators. Something made that thing grow there, and I want a piece of it.
In a search and rescue scenario, survival code dictates staying put unless your life depends on it.
I'm not staying right where I landed because it doesn't provide the opportunities for me to make a base camp.
But leaving signs along your path will help a rescue team or partner find you.
Where's Cody, you know? Max visibility, we don't want to hide it here, and we'll just proceed on down. If there's situations where I think Dave might lose me, I'm going to be more obvious with my sign. Maybe I'll break a piece. Break a piece and leave it hanging. Now that could be an elk or a deer as well. But elk and deer don't have 5 toes and go barefoot.
Barefoot for over 20 years, Cody's unique trail is just one part of his strict Aboriginal survival philosophy.
So it's ass-kicking terrain, but there's not many places I haven't walked in Arizona barefoot. That's what I do. That's who I am. I have the feet to prove it. It also makes me walk slower, so I pick things up that other people would miss. That's exactly what I'm looking for. There's the water. So I'm not going to drink this yet. I need to figure out a way to disinfect it, or if I can do that, but I can sure use it to rinse off my face. And I don't want to get my clothing wet. It's later in the day, you know, and it's going to be cold tonight. I just know it.
It's looking like a couple hours left before dark. Right now I'm looking for materials, and I'm looking for a good place to camp.
After sunset, temperatures in the Arizona pine forest will drop below freezing. Making an insulated shelter is the first defense against hypothermia.
Maybe between these 2 pines, that would be good. I'm thinking this parachute's got tubes in it. It's gonna be great for stuffing with insulation right now. I'm gonna try to fill 2 of these baffles up with pine needles, at least 6 inches thick. There's 2 main ways you're gonna lose heat in a makeshift shelter, by convection or conduction. If you're laying on the ground, you're gonna lose heat by conduction because the cold ground's gonna suck the heat right out of you. If you're laying directly on the insulation and squashing it, then you're gonna lose the heat by convection when the cold air goes by you. Because these things are so fluffy, they're gonna trap warm air. I'm feeling really good about this shelter, but the next thing I need to worry about is fire.
I'm losing light. One of my main intentions is to try to make a fire by friction set.
Making fire from sticks requires wood to be carved down, and Cody doesn't have a knife.
You give me a knife out